Thank you very much for having me. Some of the services that we offer include public relations, which is reputation management. So we deal with internal and external communication of an organization. Why is this important? Well, to build solid relationships with your customers, your clientele, and some of your staff members, and also investor relations. You need to have communication. If there's no communication in a relationship, then you don't have a relationship.
True.
So we are the foundation of relationships, and that is why we are very important and play a very important role in any organization. And so as a specialist, we will be able to create like a media relations strategy, an internal stakeholder strategy, investor relations, and also, social media management, because new media is, it's really huge right now. And we can be able to assist you not only with crisis communication, but with a strategy that will help you to be proactive in your approach to communications so that you can reach your communications objectives and build, long-lasting relationships with your customers. Well, my journey as an entrepreneur was very interesting. It started in primary school,
Wow.
and the seed was planted by one of my teachers. Can't remember her name. I'd love to give her the credit that she deserves. But she said to me that it's important for you guys to think about becoming entrepreneurs so that you can, create opportunities as opposed to just looking for opportunities. And that was in grade 5. And by grade 7, when I was 12 years old, my mother gave me money to start a business of selling sweets to primary school students. And that's where I learned about cash flow and taking stock, a little bit of marketing your business, being at the right place at the right time, attracting customers. And I also, extended it to the household where I grew up in Kagiso, where I just stand outside Baibita Stupu.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, on the porch, of the house, and I would sell sweets there, and slowly but surely that entrepreneurship spirit stayed inside of me. My mother tells me that I started making money when I was 8 years old as a baseball ball boy, and she said I'd bring a lot of money to the household. I was a little bit chubby, so I had a lot of hot dogs when I was a bit younger. From my own money. And so it grew from there. When I was in high school, one of my teachers, Mrs. Steele, called me outside of class. And she said, Tebogo, you've got the gift of public speaking. And I think you should enter the speech competition at school. And I took her advice, and that year I won the impromptu speech competition.
Yeah.
And throughout the years, I was amongst the winners. And in matric, I came first place for public speaking at school. And that is why I decided to invest in that, because it was one of my innate qualities and talents of public speaking. And I did public relations at the University of Johannesburg. I did my honors degree. And while I was studying, I wrote for several publications like the Business Day, the Sunday Times, the Sowetan. When I was 24, the Sowetan named me one of the leading thinkers in the country for one of their columns called Frank Talk, because of the research that I did and the commentary that I had on various issues. And that is when I went into the industry, and at some point then in 2011, I registered Ditshego Media, and the rest is history. We faced a lot of challenges. Firstly, managing your finances is very difficult if there are no finances coming in. So finding clients is difficult. So as skilled as you might think you are in the industry, because you don't have a track record, you need to learn how to build credibility. Building credibility is very important. It can be one of the lifebloods of any organization. It is very essential. So how do you build credibility? Well, word of mouth is very important.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a good job for any client that you get, they will tell somebody else, and they'll be happy, to give you, to punch your name, and from our perspective, we've been able to do that, quite effectively. So finding clients, keeping clients is a bit easier than finding clients. But then what's even more difficult is scaling up. So you don't want to just play, with the small boys
Yes.
in your industry, or, the small players in your industry. You want to be playing with the big boys and the big girls in your industry. And so you need to scale up. So you need to figure out, how is it that you're going to scale up? Scaling up means increasing the pool in which you're able to service. So increasing your market share. You double, you triple it. From 2013 to 2014, we tripled our revenue. But then you have to keep scaling up each and every year. And so now we've got representation in different African countries, like Zambia, Tanzania, and Kenya. And now we're able to service clients in those countries. And so if there are companies from any country in the world trying to enter those markets, we are able to service them. Oh, definitely not. We haven't created an ecosystem which is friendly for, upcoming entrepreneurs. And that's why a lot of people are comfortable with just earning a salary. From my perspective, we need to create an ecosystem that is very aggressive, very friendly and easy, to register your business and to operate. We also need to change our mentality. Firstly, our investors' mentality and the mentality of corporate South Africa of working with startups. Corporate South Africa needs to understand the role that they're playing in developing our country by giving startups and new operations an opportunity to be a part of their supply chain. I spoke about scaling up. That's one of the most important elements of scaling up, being a part of the supply chain of various organizations. I spoke to one of the executives of Standard Chartered Bank in South Africa at the New York Africa Forum in Gabon in 2015, August. And he spoke about the importance of including startups in the supply chain of organizations. That is how you're going to scale up, by getting more business. And if we're not able to do that, if you don't understand the role that you're playing in creating jobs, in skills development, and building prosperity for our country as a corporate entity in South Africa, then you will not be a part of the development of our country. And I think every company in South Africa should think differently when it comes to supporting small businesses and small-sized entities.